Hello everyone, welcome to the ETF2L Highlander Nations Cup number 5. This is the high seed group 1. It's the matchup between Sweden and England. These are the two best teams in the invite group, and they're about to duke it out tonight. I'm Peter, and I'm joined with Wiethoofd on production and Chando on the co-casting chair. How are you doing, Chando?
Very well, thank you. Very much looking forward to these two incredible teams battling out for the top spot.
Yeah, so tell me, I watched Denmark versus England last week, and that was a really good match. It was pretty close. Denmark lost 2-1, and England weren't looking all that good, but they definitely deserved the win. So that was pretty close. Did you watch the Germany versus England match?
I did not, I'm afraid. No, I think it was the Germany Sweden match. And
yes,
no,
that's what
I unfortunately missed it. I was on holiday, but I heard that Sweden absolutely pounded. I'm not sure if that's true, but I'm more than willing to believe that the Swedish roster is absolutely godlike at the moment, and I'm expecting to see good things from them.
Yeah, I saw Denmark playing against Sweden in the warm-up on the match last time, and Denmark was losing that one to Sweden as well. So Sweden definitely looks to be like the top dog, but we are actually looking at Steel tonight. And Steel is kind of a weird map sometimes. Like, even really dominant teams can just completely falter on this map, at least as far as I'm aware. I am famously really, really bad at this map, so probably don't listen too much to what I have to say, but also at the same time I do know that even though I feel like I'm a pretty decent gamer overall, like on Steel I just can't find my way around and I just end up in a corner somehow every time. So that's something to take into consideration, I suppose.
I mean, definitely either hate or love this map. It's I personally love it. I think it brings out the highest skill level of Highlander, shows true team cohesion. But at the same time, it can be a really gimmicky map. You've got sort of examples. I casted the Nations Cup matchup between Finland and Norway decimated Finland, despite Finland having the superior roster in terms of their player history, a lot of ex-Prem players and current Prem players. Norway just their tactics were a lot more varied, and they ultimately came out on top with a 6-0 victory. And it just goes to show that the players roster can kind of become somewhat arbitrary on this map. A lot of it will come down to how a team decides to play a strategy and whether or not they can pull off good synergy with one another.
Yeah, well, with that said, let's go through the rosters real quick. I want to go through the Sweden roster first. You can do the England one afterwards. And I'm just going to read off of what I see on the home page or the team page, and hopefully that fits. But we'll see. They have listed as a scout. They have Viljak, and I mostly know him as a spy, but he has good aim. I played against him on scout. He's very good. Soldier, we have Unkaya, the legend himself. Kind of known from Medic and 6v6, but he's played a lot of Soldier in Highlander, so no worries there. On Pirate, we have Ascendery. Don't know anything about him. And then on Demo Man, we have Ali and Korv. I don't see Ali in the server right now, but hopefully he shows up. Sweden are kind of a few players down. And then on Heavy, we have Seal, lovable Seal. He plays a lot of class and he usually gimmicks like crazy. It's kind of hard to gimmick on Heavy, but we'll see. And then on Engineer, it's Calicul. On Medic, we have Vanny or Vanilla. And then on Sniper, we have Twisted and Spy Kasul. So very strong roster, and we'll see how well it fits up with or it lines up with what we actually see tonight. It's Highlander, of course, and it's not the most important group states. So there's bound to be a bunch of like exceptions and people not being able to show up.
Absolutely, yes. I do believe if the server's to go by anything, the Kronk is in the server, so I think he might be playing Heavy instead of Seal, maybe. Maybe Seal will be playing NG, but we'll move on through. We'll move on through to the English roster. Again, a very strong-looking lineup. So we have on Scout, current Premiership, sorry, may I say, Scout of the season, May, playing for Super Dickmans, recently just won Prem. Soldier will be Tom. And Pyro Void Trinity, who made his debut in Prem with Failure Esports, I believe, last season. I think the demo man will be Eames, and I'm not sure if that's a main, or if that's the English sub. But Eames, yes, heavy extraordinaire Emilio Estevez will be playing heavy weapons guy. Cherry Rendezvous on engineer. Kronos will be making a comeback as medic. I think, well, I guess Cloudy will be playing sniper, as we expected, and Granger Bob, veteran spy. Again, like I mean, both teams, wouldn't you say, Peter? Very strong players from both sides, all more or less Prem or ex-Prem players, all with a great deal of experience, and so it's really like going to be. I think it's going to be a really close game.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to go, like last time, it was Eames on Demo Man, so I think it's their main. So
Okay.
or, you know, that's what it would seem like at least. And then last time around, we saw Cloudy go absolutely huge. However, this is Steel, and it's normally not the best sniper map, but you know, Sniper is still a class that can at any time just completely take over a game, even on kind of enclosed maps like this. So that's definitely one guy I'm kind of looking out for, because you never know. But what class usually dominates on this map, in your opinion or in your experience?
Considering the map's layout, riddled with tight choke points and hallways, good demo can absolutely annihilate. And I'd say in terms of the demo v demo DM comparison, if LA is playing Demo Man,
I think so.
or might be Seal, who I've seen as a good demo as well. So, you know, the Demo Man can be really important. I haven't seen Eames play Highlander before, but I'm sure he's got to be good. You know, there's plenty of good English Demo Man. So the fact that they picked him up shows something. But ultimately, you know, like if a good Demo Man can control certain choke points and do good damage to certain choke points, the enemy team is going to be completely annihilated. And you know, it's whether or not it's going to be tough working out who's going to have the demo superiority here.
Yeah, it's definitely not an obvious thing, and it's going to be a little bit interesting. Like Ali would probably give them an edge for sure, but at the same time, I think they're going to get experience over DM, at least in this trade-off if Ali does not show up. So that can be completely fine as well. And yeah, I think we have Silver Tosspot also. I think I saw him in here, or maybe he's not in here. Who knows?
I saw his name crop up as well, and also Useless, former Pyro for Team Clan / Express, is in the server, and maybe he's playing Pyro again. I haven't seen that name for a while, but that'd be interesting to see if he steps up and plays Pyro, because I think their main was a Sendry, and he's not in the server, so I'm going to put two and two together and say Useless will be playing Pyro for them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so it's going to be interesting to see who plays Demo Man for England, because there's kind of a pedigree with English Demo Men. You know, like you expect them to do a lot.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if Hildreth was planning on playing this nations, because I always thought he would be the first pick for England's Demo Man. But you know, it's good to see fresh faces, and I hope Eames proved himself. I don't know how he went in the England versus Denmark game, but seems like a promising lineup. Another player maybe to look out for, I think, would also be May. This map can be dominated by a good flank, and one thing I've seen May do is like really pester the backlines and really, you know, get around to places that maybe he shouldn't be getting. You know, if the England's flank can work together and you know, take efficient space and make some good flank plays, you know, that is going to be what they need to secure a victory.
Yeah, we're about to go live pretty soon. There's about a minute to go before we go live. So let's get some predictions in here. I think I'll go ahead and start and be boring and say I think Sweden's going to edge it out here. But I'm not all that confident in my prediction for some reason. It just feels unsafe on Steel. But based on almost nothing, just based on the fact that Sweden seems to be the strongest team, that's what I'm going to guess. But do you actually have a qualified guess here?
Well, I'm gonna make the assumption that it's going to go to a golden cap. Who that's going to favour, I'm yet to see, but I do think it's going to be high, and that we're going to play a third round. It just seems like, but I think it's going to be a like a real close game. I mean, I'll be surprised if one team completely steamrolls the other. But it's Steel. Anything can happen. So it's kind of hard to make a prediction on this map. But as we do go live now, I'm going to hand it over to Beta.
Yeah, this is gonna be England versus Sweden. It's kind of the best match of the invite group stage, so to speak. I think these are the two best teams in the best group. All teams in this invite group will move on. It's kind of like the ice series where they made a group of all the high seeds, and they play each other, and then they just play for seeds, but they all move on. So we get a bunch of really good games, and we get a lot fewer like walkovers in the regular season, or not the regular season, sorry, in the regular group play. So that's very interesting. We've seen a simple sticky trap and set up on A from the red demo man, and other than that we just see medics farming those points. You gotta do that, right?
That's essential. It's absolutely essential. Whichever medic has got more points in the pre-game is absolutely the superior.
For sure. And let's see. Void Trinity is learning Danish, I can tell. But okay, it looks like we actually have a suicide wave. I'm gonna go in very aggressively. Seer likely gets taken down. The heavy's going in as well, and while they're doing the suicide wave, they're kind of moving in just cap A. There's no one on A to even contest it, and yeah, Kronk is just looking forward to going forward here, see if he can make anything happen, but no, it looks like he's just gonna go back. We'll actually get they actually get the pyro from Seal with the caber. I haven't seen that unlock in a long time. Yeah, pretty unsuccessful suicide round. They actually got a lot of kills, but no crucial picks.
Absolutely, pick on the demo, the NG, and quite obviously the medic may have changed things, but I think it was only a pick on the pyro and the spy. It's not really going to be enough to warrant committing maybe to a push. As the sap comes in though, doesn't get anything, but the Uber is actually used by England now, as I think that was a force coming in from Seal. That's going to put them at a major advantage now and give Sweden the potential really opportunity just to do a push in there.
Yeah, just the sap and the demo man just walking in there, getting the Uber force, and Unkai jumps in there, tries to get the medic, but the Void Trinity protects the medic expertly with some nice reflect rockets. It's kind of a weird time to suicide in when you just pop the enemy medic, because that's not really the priority, I'd say. He's going to respawn very soon, and here we go. About to see an Uber push versus a non-Uber push coming in. And England, they're going to have to defend themselves, and they take down the demo straight away. That's a good start, but the heavy goes down to the spy, and I think he's looking to actually sap the sentry gun. Vanny has used his Uber, but here we go. Spy takes down the sentry gun and the engineer, and now this is just a DM fight, and that should favor the attacking team. But let's see if England can hold on.
They are losing an awful lot of space there, as Void Trinity and Eames both go down, and the English medic Kronos is going to be forced to back away. With very few players remaining. That was a fairly swift push for Sweden. Very well played there. A good succinct suicide wave, and a fairly quick Uber exchange, and they took the space. And that you can't really ask for anything more than that.
Yeah, do you think they're going to move on to C, or are they going to just put pressure on E?
Looks like they're going for a deathball strategy here, and just kind of going from A, B, C, D, and E. And as they say that, the Uber is exchanged on the English side, does manage to take down Seal, and doesn't. Apart from that, I don't really think there was much of a point in using that. I think maybe they expected the Swedish to take a little bit more space. The counter Uber is used on Vildjack, does get the pick onto Eames. Can he get the pick onto Kronos? No, Kronos backs away with the skin of his teeth, but it looks like C is going to pretty much go down. They haven't got the players or the space to retake it. Kronk just denying any players getting on there, and they're just going to plunge to the point now, and this looks like it's going to be a pretty quick cap onto C as well, and England need to pull it together.
Yeah, England, they went in really aggressively. They just kept on contesting it with about 2 players against, I don't know, like a heavy and a medic on the point, plus a few other handful of players, and it just didn't work out for England at all. The Ubers are still even, so that's nice, but there's still going to be a ton of pressure now coming onto E and D, and you see a lot of teams just kind of capping E and then forcing everyone to rotate around. Then you can just cap D when they're gone. We'll see. Usually the lobby is pretty important here, isn't it? Or am I making things up?
The white room now becomes quite central, and England are doing the right thing in trying to play white room. They seem to be winning the space fight here, and they do manage to take down Seal, Kronk, and Onkaya. They now actually have to commit to contest the point as Eames goes down to a brilliant pick by Kazul, and they're just not really contesting anything at all. Kronos does Zuba, but only on Emilio Estevez, and they're losing players left, right, and centre. And they have managed to push the Swedes back from taking E, but it's already halfway capped, and now Kronos is caught out of position and gets taken down by Viljak, and they're just going to be flooding onto the point, and this is an absolute disaster for England now, Peter.
So much time on the point. They're desperately trying to spawn out here and come and contest it. The British people, however, they're just being spawn camped right now. They're trying their best to get out, but they're completely wiped. And that's going to be a cap. That's a pretty fast time. 4 minutes and 22 minutes. 22 seconds, sorry. You can't do minutes twice. But yeah, that's a very good time from Sweden. So that's going to be a tough job for England. They might just consider like going for E straight away or something.
This is going to open up a huge amount of confidence for the Swedes, and this is mostly because the Brits are now going to have to be forced into playing an AE strategy because they simply just don't have enough time to play like an ABCD, and this is going to. Sweden's going to be well aware of this, and I expect they're going to alter their strategy a bit and maybe put a bit more defense onto E, because the English don't really have a huge opportunity now to play any other strategy, and that limitation is going to give the Swedes a huge amount of confidence.
Yeah, we see the spy of Kazul. He's standing up on that roof. Getting up there is actually really difficult. There's a very difficult jump that you have to do. So he's standing up there. So he's spotting everything. Actually, there's 3 players right now on A. They're just waiting here. We have a soldier and a scout and a spy. The soldier and the scout come in from behind here. They take down the heavy, and now they're just going to fight everyone on the point. It's a kind of a surprisingly strong contest here, but eventually they do go down. And it's only a bad thing if they eventually just lose presence on their own point. The heavy actually goes down, Kronk dying, and the teleporter will die as well. So now the question is, will they go for B or will they just go straight on to E?
Well, as Twisted does go down, and it looks like they're just going to commit straight to a B push now, not taking a great deal of space. Very well denied there by Useless. That being said, Eames taking the space there, pushing up onto the point. Estevez following up. Eames is actually just completely denying B entirely, and that's a really swift cap, even quicker than against Sweden. I don't know whether the Swedes are playing it maybe a little too safe, and maybe they're a little cautious. They don't want to risk getting wiped, because ultimately that can completely lose them the game. But it seems like they were too hasty to back out there, and it looks like the English are just going. They're actually going to commit to an E push now by the looks of it. May trying to go onto the point, but does get knocked off, and he's now going to fight in White before going down to Seal. And the Brits now going to focus on C, as kind of surprising. Only 2.5 minutes left, and I think it's going to be hard for them to improve on Sweden's time unless they commit to an E push right away.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like taking a C. It's going to make it a lot easier to actually take the final E point here. So now they have 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes. So that's like 3 pushes. Let's just say it, like just to make up some numbers, right? Like it's a bunch of pushes that they can actually do, and they're actually going to go through D once again. So they're really just committing to taking all of it. I kind of admire this. They're just going through the map. They're just muscling through it. And wow, the scout going down there, Viljak. Kind of sacrificing his life for nothing. So Sweden, they're setting themselves up here. No, England, they're setting themselves up here to actually get as much as possible. And here comes the Uber trade. They have 2 pyros airblasting each other. It's kind of funny to look at. So nothing really gets done here, and they will cap D.
I'm kind of surprised at the lack of commitment that Sweden's had to actually defending their points. They basically have let D and C go for free, and very quick to let go of B as well, and it looks like they just instantly resorted to holding on E. fairly questionable decision, and with only a minute 30 left though, entirely doable for England, as they are going to start piling onto the point. Useless goes down, good denial by Void Trinity. They are mad milked, but I don't think it's going to do much, as the English now piling on with the ×4 only, and by taking D and C, they completely limited Sweden's options of where they want to defend from. It looks like the combo is going to try and rotate into White Room. They really have to be hasty about it though. Now they're just getting completely denied, but oh my lord, that was Onkai, I do believe. Brilliant pick, does take down plenty of England's roster, and now the Swedes are just recapturing the space. Viljack does actually push up quite hard, does go down, Kronos goes down, but so does Twisted and Kronk, and now Estevez just Wing onto the point now. Eames as well, Pipes, Vanny, Seal down as well, and that is going to go to the English. Wow, what a play!
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I can't believe, like, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think England just, oh no, I think Sweden were just kind of too focused on not losing E. They're just so nervous about it, and it just allowed England just to take everything, like one point at a time, and it just ended up being faster. So 2 really fast pushes here from both teams. Pretty incredible stuff. I kind of do feel like Sweden kind of threw that one away, though.
I think Sweden threw it quite hard, really. They really should have, like you said, just committed to actually defending point on white. They were very nervous not to get steamrolled, and that's exactly what happened to them. We are going to take a quick look at the logs now before we go into the next round. Have a look at some standout players. And coming straight in at the top there, Eames, 15-5 with 470 DPM. That's insane, and it makes me a little bit feel a little bit bad for maybe questioning their decision, because he absolutely nutted there. And holy moly, like Eames just coming in, slamming in, just proving how important a strong demo man can be on this map.
Yeah, I think I forgot to mention to you that he also top damage against Denmark, like every single time, completely consistently. It was just a force every time. So definitely seems like he's one of those up-and-coming guys who like going to be really exciting to actually follow. And yeah, that was an incredible performance. Going 15 for 5, that's a 3 KD. I can do that kind of math in my head. And also even Cloudy having a lot of damage too. He only went 7 for 5, but I don't know, a Sniper doing well on this map, that's pretty impressive in my opinion.
Definitely. I mean, to look at the Swedish standout players, Onkaya, 11-7, which isn't too bad. 300 DPM, and when you compare it to the rest of the players, who they didn't, other than Onkaya and Eames, no one else got above 10 kills in that game. So credit to Onkaya at least for being consistently fairly high damage and getting consistently high amount of kills as well. That's just it's pretty good to see. And it seems that the flank for Sweden is maybe the strongest element. You've got Viljack doing a great deal of damage with 250 DPM per scale, which isn't too bad considering the circumstance of this map and the circumstance of the match itself. So real credit to the Swedish flank here. They seem to be outperforming the rest of their team somewhat. Yeah.
And on the other hand, we have Twisted on Sniper, bottom damaging and going 3 for 9. So that's definitely not good. You want to do better on Sniper, even on this map. So that's who I'll be looking forward to seeing see he can actually improve. We have gone live with the second round, but it's still in the setup time. So no panic.
So, Peter, do you think your predictions at all have changed from what you would have said maybe before the game started, or before the first round was played? Do you think maybe now it seems like a 6-0 maybe for England, or are we looking maybe at a golden cap as I predicted?
Well, I'm going to be stubborn and just say that no, Sweden threw that round away. They were too cautious and they didn't expect England to just play it straight up. So they got overconfident and they got punished for it. But now they're going to just play it really well and just play it right and win. So I'm going to be stubborn and say no, Sweden gets their stuff together. But
okay, if they can get heads back in the game, if they can concentrate and not get too tilted, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they've got what it takes.
Sweden, they're going, oh, England, sorry, they're going really heavily onto A right now. You know, we saw them do some shenanigans. Oh, they actually find the spy there. They were just shooting every single corner, and they actually do hit a spy. You know, you gotta stand in the middle of the map as a spy if you want to be unpredictable, basically. But there was no suicide wave, so that's kind of unusual.
Well, I think they've committed quite heavily to taking A, and it looks like the Pyro and Soldier are going to commit to pushing up E. They are going to back out though, as not really much is happening there. Over on B, however, we're seeing Eames now starting to take some space. The Uber is used, countered by Sweden. They have flashed a little bit, but this looks like it's going to be favored by Sweden as Eames backs out. Kronk, however, does go down to Cloudy, and the Brits have taken a really good position up on that catwalk. Eames are just going in straight for the repush, and now there's just no one here on B. Where's Sweden gone?
Oh, they saw the writing on the wall and they just got the hell out of there. I actually agree with that decision. They were looking really sketchy. Once they lost the heavy and the engineer, they just kind of knew that they couldn't hold it, so they went back out. A spy gets found out here, so no medic pick for Kasul. Instead, England, they will just set up here and C instead, and I do like that decision. But let's see how England approaches this, because, you know, once again, you can't just go for E. So far, England hasn't really done it. They put it on a single scout onto E. That's going to force a reaction of some kind, but, you know, normally this is just kind of a feint to force people away from the C point.
Yeah, I think mostly it's
Rollers go down.
Where was that sticky from?
Yeah. It was on the grates. The classic sticky trap on this map.
Rookie error, rookie error.
Yeah, I wish you could turn back time on that one.
Look at this! Look at this! Look at this cap time by England. I mean, their Boy Trinity and May are both taken down, but fairly decent amount of time, and that's going to draw a lot of Sweden away. Kronos now at a huge Uber disadvantage, but C is pretty much going to be free cap, so they more or less achieve their aim. In terms of maybe how they would have used that Uber anyway. So, you know, really one's got to question how important that Uber was in the first place. But nonetheless, pretty rookie error from Kronos there. You know, everyone knows about that grate and its havoc it can cause.
Yeah, it's a great spot. The heavy goes down, and actually the Uber comes out here for Benny, and Kronos has somehow been able to slip out.
How did he do that?
Oh, Kramp just loses a 1v1 against an engineer. Sherry's still doing it, and Sear with the caber kill as well. So England, despite looking in a really dicey situation here, will eventually get a small rebound here and not get completely overwhelmed. But looks like England will once again put some time on the E point and actually rotate around to the D point in the process. So they're just looking up to take all of the points once again.
Definitely, and and Vanny and Seal both go down. A really nice Jurati placement there by Cloudy, and good follow-up by Estevez is going to get the pick onto the medic, and this is devastating now for Sweden as Kazul gets pitted by Granger in a fierce spy 1v1. And that is Viljak going to try and contest the E point, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to get picked up as well. And now it's just going to be a complete death ball onto E point. And now it's knowing whether or not the Brits are going to be able to deny a Swedish regroup. And I assume the Swedish are going to try and push from White Room, but they may not have enough time now, and they may just have to push from the DE connector. Very well held off though. It looks like they're going to come from BCE though. It's not going to be
coming in on the point. Oh no, doesn't quite get him. It's a heavy on the well. Everyone's just diving onto the point right now for Sweden, but I don't know, it's not looking too... Oh no, there's even going to be an Uber. So another really fast time. Was this faster than last time too?
By 10 seconds, yes.
Wow.
It was 4:22 last time, and now we're looking at a 4:12 time by England. Not as quick as England's last attack, but still quicker than still faster than Sweden's last attack. So
yeah, that is the one you want to beat.
Promising again.
That is the one you... Yeah, so definitely the heat is on right now. 4 minutes, that's not a whole lot of time, and once again, you always have that really tempting option on this map to just go straight for the juggler and just go for the kill. It's so tempting, but for the most part, as we've seen, it really helps to take the other points first. But, you know, if you mess up just once, like lose your medic to a spy or just have a bad push in general, like you can just be slowed down so much that you have to take a huge risk and just go for the E point, and it's going to be very predictable.
Absolutely, and as we're about to go live now, really the only thing I think that can turn Sweden's game around now and maybe put them back into the winning seat, perhaps they really need to readjust their strategy and how they're playing these defenses currently, because as we saw from last game, they were their attack. I mean, last game their attack was very good, so maybe this is going to be promising. That was definitely where they excel, I would say. But I'm going to hand over to you.
Yeah, there was some pressure going on here on the B point, but everyone died. Eames actually gets taken down by Kronk. Kronk hiding around a corner there is sneaky heavy. So great job by him. Taking down the demo man, that's definitely going to allow Sweden to just kind of walk out there a lot less uncontested and with a lot less spam to worry about. So that's a pretty good start. But let's see with England. They still have that medic in spawn. So they need to push pretty quickly here. They don't have a lot of time to work with. So the longer they dawdle, the more difficult it's going to get, and the more hastily they're going to have to move, and the more easily it is to mess up. But there they go. They go and just Uber in the demo man. The spy has sapped everything, so great timing there. So the medic is sent into the skybox. Vanny takes the view of the entire area and then comes back down. This is looking pretty bad though for Sweden. The spy's doing work. Seal going down. That's the demo man down, and it looks like they are kind of rotating around to E. The heavy on the sort of in the back line though. Kronos going down. Great play by Onkaya.
Definitely, yeah, and with only 2 minutes 40 left though, this is going to be very tricky for Sweden to secure this now. Maybe they need to be getting a bit of a wiggle on if they want to start steamrolling it. They are going to start trying a dry push now as Kronk tries to get in, does get backstabbed by Grenchabob. That's still going to be followed up by Silver Tosspot. The Demoman, Twisted, pretty much the whole team now is going to take B without much of a hassle now. And the English now, they're going to fall back. Not sure where Kronos is. He's currently sitting in spawn, waiting to back spawn. And looks like they're going to go for a setup on C. But maybe the wrong decision. Maybe the Swedes are going to have to commit to an E push here. But it looks like they are going to focus C first.
Oh, they take down the pyro. That means that no one is going to fall down the pit like a baddie. You know, so that's pretty good. But still, when you don't have C, apparently the bridge doesn't extend. I don't know when it starts doing that. So you can't really get heavies over yet and slower classes. So it's basically only 3 classes that can truly contest this midpoint here, or the E point. Sorry, it's like soldiers, demos, and scouts are the ones that can easily do it. Maybe the pyro can get over there, but it's going to be very difficult. But England, but Sweden, they are committing to it. They have 1 minute and 20 left. And they are putting time on the point on here and E, and they're taking the area. But now the demo man comes in to spam out the area. But a nice Girotti going to force everyone back. But now England don't have any time on the point, so that's just kind of unfortunate. They're wasting.
Oh, but sorry to interrupt, but a brilliant play by Tom. Picks off Twisted and Kazul, I think, or maybe one other. And you know, now the Swedes' numbers are dwindling in comparison to the Brits. More picks coming out there. Useless goes down, but a drop comes in by Twisted onto Kronos, and now can the Swedes recommit to this push? They've only got 45 seconds left. That isn't a lot of time actually to cap this point. The point is incredibly slow until C is actually capped. So is it going to be enough time though? They've really got to get on it now, right now, and all England have got to do is just try and slow down that cap point, because if they can just slow down for about 10 more seconds, there's almost no chance.
Oh, the spy takes down the heavy and forces the medic. This is so unfortunate. And now when he's gonna get pushed down into the pit, added to the pit counter, and that's probably gonna be it, man.
What a shame! What a quick game!
Yeah, it was extraordinarily fast. Both teams were so good at pushing, and just eventually, like Sweden, they just messed up a little bit here at the final end as ceremoniously Silver Tosspot jumps into the pit. But congratulations to England. A clean game. They don't waste their time. They can go back outside and enjoy the weather.
Well, absolutely, as I might be doing a bit later as well. But, yeah, I mean, quick performance from both teams. Good aggression from both teams as well. And I think ultimately, if Sweden had been a little bit more confident in holding their space, I think we may have seen a different outcome. But nonetheless, very much congratulations to England, and well played by Sweden. Really, getting pretty much every single attack that was done around or under 4 minutes, and that shows that's credit to both teams at the end of the day.
Yeah, so they both need to either work on their defense or just figure out how to be even faster than they already are. But yeah, we didn't sit around and there were no stalemates. They were incredibly good at just breaking stalemates and putting pressure at different points to kind of force the team to pivot around and get out of position, and then they could walk back in through the other door and then just outmaneuver them and lock down some chokes. So just a masterclass in how you can actually abuse the map to your advantage and get other teams out of position. So it was really well done. Normally teams kind of struggle on B point. Like that's the hardest one to break in my opinion, and man, they didn't seem to have too much trouble. They just did like a suicide wave that always failed, and then they just won anyway. So it's really great stuff.
Definitely. I mean, it just shows, like how important the aggression can be. Both teams, I think, definitely excelled in just taking just like grabbing that space and just taking it. Both teams definitely still had good cohesion as well. This is why it's slightly surprising to see such a quick game and a quick victory for England, but still nonetheless, the fact of as I said, the fact that there were every single round, was done under 4 minutes or roughly around that amount. Really shows how incredible both teams' cohesion was in just taking the space, and if only Sweden could have maybe defended a little more comfortably.
Yeah, and once again, Twisted did actually do better on Sniper, but Cloudy once again top damaging for his team, and Kazul actually getting the top damage on Spy. That's pretty interesting. But speaking of Cloudy, we're joined by him, the England Sniper. We had a pretty good game today, despite it not being the best Sniper map. So congratulations, Cloudy. Did you expect to win this fast?
Hello. Yeah. Well, not this fast. But no, we were going into really positive. I think we were really confident in our steel strats, and we had practiced a lot, so everything paid off in the end, I think.
I was about to say, really, whether or not you guys had scrimmed this map a lot. It seems like you'd really put some effort into playing this map as a team, and it really did show on the cast. So well played on that. Were you scrimming consistently on this map, or was it really something that just kind of came naturally?
Well, yeah. Well, we are the team with the best of it on heavy, so naturally this map falls into our favour. So we were fairly confident with a lot of practice that we could nail down the strats really hard, and we did.
That's really good to hear. But commiserations to Sweden, and I'm now joined by Seal, who is in the Mumble. Seal, man, what went wrong?
Well, we haven't actually practiced the map. I think it was pretty noticeable, and we don't have our main lineup. Mainly missing like the big name Alle, of course.
Of course, yes, that really makes a big difference.
Yeah, makes a difference, like both like on this server and in Mumble.
So I assume he main calls then.
Well, not main calls, but like I don't know, sorta main calls.
He's vocal though. He's vocal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And like you were saying that you haven't really scrimmed this map. Was this just a one-off, or would you say that the Swedish team isn't overly active in their scrimmage?
I think this is a one-off. Like a lot of people were away. I mean, I played Demo Man. I haven't really played Demo in Highlander since like season 8, and and we had the Silver Tosspot, played Engineer for the first time.
Oh wow!
And on Steelfall maps. So.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, we scrambled a bit, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't feel too hard pressed about it. As I was saying in the cast, your aggression was pretty spot on. Seemed to match England in terms of the DM. When you're attacking, maybe just a bit more confidence in your defense. But well played considering you had a fairly shaky roster and that maybe you haven't played this map at all. But Beta, have you got anything else to add?
Yeah, how are you guys feeling about this whole setup with the invite group or the high group? Like, is this better than normal Highlander Nations Cup, or do you prefer it the old way?
I think that it's pretty interesting to have an invite group because there's always the argument of like, there was no way of getting into the invite group. It was just almost randomly picked. I feel like so there are teams that may have deserved to get into the invite group who didn't. But at the same time, that means that they get easier groups for them. So it's a weird thing. I think there are teams that could like practice really hard, but like not have the like raw talent on their team that may deserve to like get through. And I think if there was like no invite group, I think it would make it easier for those guys.
So what other teams are you talking about specifically?
Like Finland, for example, or the USA. Like we've played those guys before, both of those guys before, and they've proven themselves to be really strong in certain situations. Like we've had just as hard a time beating certain teams like those as we have with the guys in the invite group.
All right, Seal, do you agree?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think like Russia also usually like you can never count out Russians. They can also always like upset. I don't know. I mean, preferably I think we like it because we don't have Alia back until the group stage is over, so we're fine with the.
Yeah, we're still
with
pretty
the
scared of
free
Sweden.
ride.
Like today for us doesn't really represent what Sweden are capable of, and we're not taking it like we can easily beat you every time now because this game doesn't actually matter that much. I'm scared of you, Seal.
All right, yeah, I don't know. Like either way, I don't think you guys were ever in danger of not qualifying for the next round, so you can kind of take it for what it is. But yeah, I don't know, Chando, if you don't have any more questions, we can just do some shoutouts and shut down the stream.
No. By all means, let's move on.
All right. Okay. Well, let's do some shoutouts and then go outside. So, Claudia, do you have anyone you want to thank?
Yeah. Thanks, Sweden, for organising pretty much everything for me, making my life easier. And shout out to Kunu and everybody on the BlackOut TV production team and the casters.
Yeah, Seal?
Oh yeah, well, shout out to Team Sweden for actually going through this Night of Steel, no matter already. And special shout out to Foppish.
All right. So, cool. Thank you guys. It was a very brisk match tonight. There's still a lot of Highlander action coming up with the Nations Cup. I'm not actually sure when the next game is on. I don't know if you know, Chando. But
I believe there's matches on tomorrow. I'm not 100% on who's playing tomorrow, but and I'm not sure whether there will be a cast. I guess they'll be put on the match page in fair time if we can sort something out. Hopefully, though, some games being shown tomorrow. But that's all I can say currently.
Yeah, just keep your eyes peeled and just remember that we will be casting some games if they show up, and there's a lot of really good games. So just look forward to that. But with that said, thank you guys all for watching. It was a lot of fun casting with you tonight, Chando, and keep
and you.
Yeah, and keep up the good work. Wiethoofd doing a great job on production as always. So take care, you guys. Go outside, eat some nice barbecue or something, and have a good night.